So we're gonna watch how we've got errors from running backs, offensive linemen, um, and then on the third one, I can't remember where the problem comes from. Well, this is the opening series of the third quarter here. So, okay, OU is going to run that counter with Kanik following Ozida. So, just so you guys can kind of see it in your head. And it's blocked up pretty nicely, actually. And I think Torrey Blaylock misreads it. So Ozida shoves his guy, the other defensive end, whose name I can never remember, but is a good player. And then you've got Kanik right here. There is an alley. Now, let me erase what I've already done. Here, here. Blaylock's got to run it through there. That's where the play is. And then he's going to meet this guy in a one-on-one. That's the way that play should work. But instead, he bounces, and we used to talk about this last year. I know Taylor Tatum did it a couple of times. Torrey Blaylock has a ton of speed. So do a bunch of guys on Auburn. Now, he may be a little faster than they are, but he's not fast enough to make up the difference. That's not where that play is designed to go. He bounced it a couple of times, and there are several occasions where there was nothing there. I don't blame him. Like, okay, I'm not going to just run into the pile. Let me go see if I can find something outside and see if something magical can happen. This one, the play is blocked up well, and he doesn't read it. Again, like, I'm not here to kill freshmen. Like, they're going to do some things, and I get he's probably like, well, it's not been there all day. Why is it going to be there now? But he's got to understand he's got to go where he's supposed to go. This one, this is an interesting debate point for offensive linemen. Let me watch it play, and then we'll come back. So it feels like Heath Ozida. Okay, so let's get back into it. So okay, you've got the D tackle right here, and he is going to charge at the A gap here, and Ozida initially has him, but kind of hands him off to Jake Michla. See, like, okay, so right here, you've got this double. And at this point, that is Jake Michla's issue. And as Gabe has succinctly said multiple times, Jake Michla's a really good pass blocking center. Really good. Up there with some of the good ones Oklahoma's had, including Gabe himself. But, like, look here, Ozida, he's just late checking for work, and he lets that free runner happen. Once, like here, he's got to, even though, like, I know his eyes are going this way, he's got to start moving his feet this way, and he's just late doing it. Now, I'm not saying it's not a tough ask. It is. It's a lot to ask for him to get over in that space. Like, I think that's fair. And I like I said leading in, you will hear a lot of offensive line, gurus, guys that really know it. They'll argue about this a little bit, where some will tell you you've got to have a little more situational awareness to say, hey, okay, let's see if we can, does it show it really? Okay, it's too late now, yeah. So once you know Michla's got his guy and he's locked up, okay, that's Michla's job. I got to go find work. And then you will hear other guys say, that's not your assignment. That's not your rules. That's not the way you play it. I actually heard, the Duke Mayweather guy, he was talking about this, I believe, just yesterday on Sunday in reference to an NFL game. And he was like, you never break the rules. You stick with your rules. You live by the rules. Everybody knows the rules. Instead of, and then I've heard people say, hey, okay, you've got to understand, basically being a football player. Like, go find work, go help your team, rather than like, well, I did what I was supposed to do, and that's all I'm gonna do, kind of thing. Again, I am not as expert as any of the people having that argument. I'm just saying it's two different schools of thought on it and kind of how you want to look at this. Now, I said 3rd and 10. I couldn't quite remember where this one went bust. Let's see. Oh, this is your quarterback. Okay. And I saw some of this, and there were some people. This is where you get people putting stuff on the offensive line that's not on the offensive line. It's got nothing to do with the offensive line. John Mateer bails out. And he did this several times in the game. It's really the first time I've seen him do it this year. And part of that's Auburn has a good front. I get it. But look at him. He's just drifting and drifting and drifting. And all he's doing is making that angle easier for these edge rushers for Auburn. So if he stays here, this guy's got to come, and Howland's going to meet him, and there's going to be a collision right there. Because the shortest route to John is that way. I don't know why I called him John like we're old buddies. Same deal here with Simmons. Simmons, who's like, okay, look at Simmons and look at Howland. Howland's still got to get this right. I mean, OU needs Michael Fasusi back so he can take over that spot. But until he's ready, this is not what Bill Bedenbaugh's teaching him. The way he's lined up right there. Now he's getting a little getting his base back under him, that kind of stuff. But he gets so high sometimes. He looks out of control. But again, so. Let's go back to where we were when that kind of started. And you've got, like I said, let's go, no, backwards. Okay, here's about where, somewhere in here. So let's say Mateer to the 21, as I'm describing things earlier. Look where he finishes. He's at the, 14? 13, he's got to stop drifting like that. So if he's 10 yards back. Let's think about this. Like we can't even see, let's see if when we can see the 10. As soon as I can see the 15, okay. So from basically where these guys are, that's the line they've got to carry. If he stays at about here, you're making it very, because basically in the first line, it's a race for Howland and Simmons to race back. You know what? They're not going to win that against most defensive ends, and neither would most offensive tackles. That's not a shot at those two guys. The defensive ends are better athletes. You have to do things to help your tackles use their size and bring those defensive ends to them where they can use their length, they can use their weight, they can use their strength to balance the scales a little bit. But you can't play an athlete battle with the defensive ends. They'll lose. So, again, I wouldn't even highlight this if this was a one-off, but it happened several times. And, again, I kept hearing people say, oh, offensive line blocking. No, this has got nothing to do with the offensive line. They're doing an okay job here. Now, I will say, this is one of the plays more than any other I saw all day. Look at Fabechuiwu. He can't base. He just can't, and he finally catches it, and he finally gets it. And that little kid from Auburn's a good player. I think his name's Williams. He's, I don't think, is that Williams? I may be wrong on that. I thought he was 10. Good player, though, if it's the kid I'm thinking of. But, yeah, see, here, you look at it. John's either got to step this way. I don't know why I keep calling him John. Sorry, Mr. Mateer. Not Mr. Mateer. God, it just gets worse. Whatever. But he keeps drifting, and he's just – look at that, guys. At this point, he's got to step this way because this is all but closed off. Or, if he wants, he can dip under that way. But, man, if he can just buy another second – if he can just step up for a split second, Deion Burks is about to run into a ton of space. Step up, step up, step up, step up. Nope. Even at this point, I'm just throwing a lob out to here and hoping Dion can get underneath it. But yeah. So anyway, just not a great start to the second half for Oklahoma.